Yeah, that's your name.
Squirrels got me.
Big Jim.
Yeah.
Really, 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 really cold and fun.
Cold and fun.
Cold and fun.
That's good that you think that of it, because that's what deer hunting typically is cold and fun.
Yesterday morning, I'm glassing up on the pass, and I see these deer moving, and I'm like, ooh, there's deer moving. All of a sudden, I just see this person just head down, just hauling ass, wearing shorts and a t-shirt with a pack on. And I'm like, is that Tard? My dad always talks about floating through the woods like the autumn breeze.
So Robert's
when you're
the
275 pounds, I don't know how you do that, but
the Freightliner. It's just like a creeper. You're just kind of up in the corner watching what's going on down there.
yeah,
You know,
he's like,
he's up there slapping and pissing all over everything.
is it warm yet?
How did you know the name of the actor?
That's right. I know.
Why did you say his name?
Hervé Villagers.
You know what pert near means.
If you know what pert near means and you live in America, you're a redneck too.
Welcome to the Log Talk Podcast, brought to you by Pert Near Outdoors.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode here with us at Pert Near Outdoors. I apologize for the podcast being late this week. No, it's probably not a big deal in your world, really not in the big scheme of things, big deal in my world, but I like to try to stay punctual, and I will tell you that life got the best of me the last couple days and delayed me getting this out. So this will be the last installment of our Colorado trip. So this is the four of us sitting around the campfire, the last night in camp, all of us together. So fun little chat, some fun stories, some trials and tribulations about our trip out there, hearing AJ's side of the story of some of the issues he dealt with, which is always a reminder of the things that can go wrong and the challenges that can happen when you go on these trips. You don't know what it's going to be, but you're almost guaranteed that things are going to go a bit sideways. So had a good time with that, had some good laughs joking about it, and overall couldn't have been happier with the way the trip turned out. I know I posted a picture last week of Trigger's buck, and he did get that deer it would been Thursday. Thursday the 16th. I was standing waiting for my shuttle to the airport as I received a text message with his ugly face next to that beautiful buck. And can't say I'm surprised. It was just a matter of time. We were around him. We were just having a hard time lining him up. So super happy for those guys to at least not get skunked on that trip. And Sean stayed up in there until I think Sunday I think he left. The elk were there. He got into them a couple days in a row, I think Friday and Saturday, and just couldn't seal the deal. They were in there, but he was having a tough time getting inside of them all by himself. So it was a great hunt. Look forward to our next one. I'm sure all of us, our minds are turning about what we can do the next time and what our next trip will look like out west. But it's always fun. It's always a great adventure, and looking forward to it. It's opening week here in New York. Pretty fired up about that. Friday, so 2 days from today. Recording this on Tuesday evening, so we're, I guess, 2 days from right now, we'll just say. We got opening day here in New York in the southern zone. I think I saw that the northern zone archery season opened up today maybe or earlier this week. So best of luck to everybody who's out there doing that. It's our favorite time of year. The temperatures are dropping. The leaves are changing. Corn's being harvested. Beans are being cut. It's a beautiful thing, and very excited about what this deer season will bring. I think just judging by the way my last few days have gone, I think it's going to be a season where I need to, again, like last year, kind of take a step back and hunt when I can hunt, but focus on being here at home to help my wife. It is a lot of work. If you don't have kids, you don't understand. Your parents will tell you, and you can't understand until you do it. But it is a lot of work, and if you want to be that, whether you're the mom or the dad, if you want to be part of those kids' life, sometimes you just got to make those sacrifices, and I'm learning that first and foremost right now, and I'm embracing it. So these kids are the best, but they need your time, they need your loving, and I suspect that will tap into my hunting time a little bit this year, but that's okay. I will just make sure that I am prepared and ready so that when I have my opportunity to get out there, I'm lethal and effective and filling the freezer. So I think so. Last year I think I shot five deer last year, so the freezer's been good and full, but we're starting to get down. I'm just about out of burger. I've got a few of the prime cuts left, some of the roasts and the back straps. I got a couple packages of those still sneaking around in the freezer, but starting to feel that itch looking towards the bottom. There's not a whole lot of meat left in there, so it's about that time to start filling that puppy back up. So that is what it's all about. I think, that's kind of the gist there. We're going to start, I think what we're going to do, I've been talking with a couple of the guys. I think what we're going to do this year, if you've been following along with us for a couple of years, you know that we'd like to do our little weekly show during the deer season. We call it Breeding 'em Radio, where we talk amongst ourselves as well as getting friends and different people that we've connected with onto the show to share their stories about their successful hunt the week prior. I think what we're going to do this year, we're going to utilize a podcasting platform called Bullhorn. Bullhorn is we did a live show on there back in July. Our beers on the deck. We had some fun with that, but wanted to kind of test the waters there. But I'm thinking I'm wanting to go that route with our weekly show. So Bullhorn, it's an app you can download on your phone. It's really cool, interactive. So our idea here is that we're going to do this live show. I got to talk with Jimmy and the guys, but I'm thinking Wednesday night's going to be our night. We'll probably do it in the evening, like 8:30. Probably plan to go an hour. We'll probably have a guest on to talk about their successful hunt or something they've got going on. And then the cool part about Bullhorn is that you download the app, you can listen to the show live. You can call in or message in, so very interactive. So it's kind of neat. You can be a listener to the show, and you can actually jump in the queue if you want to call in and ask a question, or you have a comment or a story you want to tell, or if you've got something going on. So want to try something different. It's very difficult this time of year. Everybody's very busy, and anytime you want to be hunting. So we're just going to give this a shot. If it works, great, which I think it will. If it doesn't, then we'll kind of just adjust and move type of thing. But that's what we're going to try this year. We're going to try to give that a roll. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll post up information about that once we get a couple shows scheduled. Might even try one this week with, whether it be Jimmy and I or Dallas and I to get on and shoot the breeze and talk about our plans and expectations, something like that, just to get our teeth into using that system. But check it out, Bullhorn FM. If you look in your app store, you can download that app. It's free, and you can find us on there, Pert Near Outdoors on Bullhorn. And anytime we go live or schedule a live event, it will notify you, and you can tune in and listen along with us. And then if not, we'll just post that episode up probably Friday mornings. After that, we'll probably record on Wednesdays, post on Fridays, and most weeks that may be our only podcast of the week. So we'll see how it pans out. Just trying to balance time and make sure we're putting out content that's entertaining. It's an incredible the amount of good podcasts that are out there right now, and I want to just do something a little bit different to just kind of fill the void or fill an area of need, because it doesn't really benefit me to do a ton of different like strategy podcasts and that on hunting, because I feel like there's a ton of that out there right now. So just trying to spin it up and do something a little bit different here for deer season and see how it works. So let me know what you think. I'm all ears. I would love to have your feedback, and let me know what you think on that idea. So that's what I've got. I hope you guys enjoy this discussion and this fun podcast around the campfire up in the high country. And good luck this weekend if you're getting out and putting an arrow on the string. Shoot straight, shoot for the middle. Can't go wrong there. And keep fading them.
Okay, it's rolling, Mr. T.
So my question is, should I go up and make my way down like to the sanctuary, or should I go the route that I want to go, down by that wallow and around that mountain and try to hit the trail that way and see what that looks like?
It would be interesting for you to go up to the sanctuary and drop down the ridge, back down to the trail.
Because I was thinking that tonight, what I should do.
Because there might be deer up there too.
I could kind of be killing two birds with one stone for you guys too.
Yeah.
I think they're both good options because if you go around or skirt the top of that sanctuary and see what there is for
I think I'm going to see more up there for a while. If I get my ass going early in the morning.
Right.
Maybe catch something grazing for them guys. You know
And I think if you were going to hunt that little sanctuary up there, I think you'd almost need to like have your camp up there.
Yeah, but
like
it'd be
up
a nasty
off,
spot.
But like up off the edge, maybe like down towards Meadow, just be off of that.
Yeah, maybe.
Because to hike up there and hunt that every day would be it'd just be a nightmare.
So maybe you could be on the side where because there's some scattered trees.
Yeah.
It looks like the buck should bed there.
I know.
Maybe they.
But
maybe
that
they are now.
it's a south facing slope, so maybe not. But I guarantee if you walked up there, there's probably beds and everything right where you'd expect them to be.
It's kind of like west facing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like southwest facing.
Yeah.
Same idea though.
Right.
Are you talking what's parallel with the trail?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of like winds with the trail.
Right.
Yeah, that all looks like nice stuff up there. But
It looks awesome.
Just,
It's got the alpine grass, and it just looks like it should just be deer.
It's like that side hill over there.
Yeah.
You just see deer farming a lot of that.
I
You never
glassed until my eyes bugged out of my head tonight. Just positive that there was going to be all them bucks up there.
But Robert, he went for a walk up there. He kicked a muley out of there.
Mhm.
One time I glassed and I went up there and I kicked a big muley out of there, or a decent much. So maybe they wait until dark.
So
and
that's the key. I just got to get up there. Get right on them.
Do a little.
If you don't want to play with me, I'll play with you.
Do a little push. Easy over there.
Yeah.
I need my buddy with a primer, and
He's trusting farts again.
yeah, it's pretty
That's
impressive.
exciting.
Good old mountain farts.
Yeah, we haven't really been at this point in the last two hunts. We haven't been at this point where we haven't gotten something on the ground and haven't. This is new territory. We've been spoiled.
My biggest problem is I know there's deer here, but I cannot sit here for 9 days and hunt deer that aren't coming out during
You don't
daylight.
drive 24 hours to hunt deer like you do on the farm at home.
I would rather
Yeah.
go over to Meadow and be totally blind and start over fresh, and I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what's right or wrong. I think the deer eventually will come around here, but what happens if I sit here on my thumb for 5 more days and
then you're gonna go home and wonder
And I'm
were
gonna
they over there? You know,
Right.
because they like that.
They can go up and over.
I think this side's better.
I think it is too.
I think it's better.
So
but
that's
it
the
doesn't
thing.
seem like it's. I haven't seen any hunting pressure over there
Right.
yet. I don't know. I mean, granted, we haven't been over there every day, but that Saturday night to be glassing over there, not to see any hunters.
Right.
That's. I mean, I feel like we've got the meat of the week now. That this is your opportunity to capitalize on not being people in here.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty much an hour.
I don't
Within
want
the next couple of days, or I mean, the weekend's coming. You know, some ding dong's gonna come walking through the meadows and do.
Right. So yeah, I don't want to give up on this place, but when you always think about the other spot, because this isn't working right now, so that has to be better. But I doubt it is.
Right.
I mean, I know I could find a deer over there, piddling around through that timber,
And
but I could probably piddle around through
I
this
know,
timber
it's
too.
the same thing.
But here, you got a really good potential for them to come out.
Right. Especially in the morning.
Brian, this is an excellent vodka tea, I must say.
Well, I'm a pretty good bartender.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.
Don't be, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm
Cheers.
gonna need a refresher.
Till last night in camp together.
Yeah, till the last night in camp together.
2, 3.
Thank you. Am I gonna feel warm after that one? Am I?
Do you need a refresher?
Little nip.
You good?
Huh?
I am staying away from that for right now.
So this is Monday night.
Tard's been here since Tuesday, right?
Yeah. So it's been a week in
Monday.
here for you.
Right.
Yeah.
I get here Monday, right?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You got here Monday night.
And then you slept, and then you came in,
Okay.
right?
I don't know. I lose track of time up here.
I know. How many pairs of underwear? That's how you keep track of how many days you are.
Well, he only brought one, so
And it's still on my pillowcase.
There's one.
it's a good way to keep them clean. Don't wear them.
Yeah. Everybody's making fun of me because I put my clean boxers on my pillow for my pillowcase, and which I substituted last night after the razzing I got.
Right.
Substituted them with dirty ones?
No, I put my stuff sack for my sleeping bag over it, and it worked pretty good, actually.
What do you think I wore this morning?
What I think you wore?
Yeah, after you left camp.
Did you put my stuff sack on? Did you put was that like your tube sock, and then you drew it down tight to?
You never know.
I don't know.
No.
It's like Brian's condom.
His stuff sack. He needs a sleeping bag stuff sack to handle his mountain wiener.
We need a good drop cord.
Yeah. The size of Tard's 64-ounce freaking nail jean.
Kind of good day.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been slow, but they're here. I mean, we've seen
That's
game.
hunting, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
No, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not really frustrated. I can imagine tired is. It's been almost, you've been here 7 days and haven't seen much. It's got to wear on you,
Yeah, I know what this place has the potential of between.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of got to give Billy props for walking over the pass and seeing the herd of elk and
All the
the
deer.
mule dealer and
4 years ago.
and that kind of gave like motivation to come here, and like we kind of proved year in after
For 3 years.
for 3 years after that we proved that they're here.
Yeah.
And
Or 2 years, right?
to say that
We've kind of had it to ourselves. There really hasn't been
right,
3
anybody
years. Yeah.
really in here.
it's been 3 years of
Yeah.
production.
Because you and Robert came, then we all came, and then you came by yourself.
Yeah. So it's been 3 years of nothing but production, and when it's not producing, you're kind of scratching your ass in your head at the same time, wondering what you should do.
You got to think about opening day, though. I was 40, 50 yards from having a really solid shot at a nice buck.
Yeah.
But since then, it's been nothing.
Right.
So, and those bucks were definitely on edge.
Yeah.
They
They
get
were
spooked.
coming from somewhere.
Yeah, they got knocked.
I almost wonder if they were coming from over the pass. But they came
Those
from high.
shots-
They came from really high.
How long did you see them for?
I saw them for a while, but they came right down that gut, right down the creek,
Right.
the main creek.
I think our biggest enemy this year so far is with the deer is the teepee tent.
The shenanigators.
I mean,
Yeah.
they've been pretty much walking through the middle of that
They've been
day in and day out, and
I think they got pretty lucky killing a deer the first day because
yeah.
they wrecked the rest of the deer hunting.
I think it's just going to take a matter, a couple of days for them to get back to their normal pattern of, oh, they're not here, so
Yeah.
we can go back to doing what we were doing.
I can give it a couple more days, but I think at some point I got to beat the bush and just feel like I put forth the best effort I could, and
Change it up.
and still come home empty-handed, but pound some miles on and still hunt through some timber and look at some new country and just say, hey, I at least pushed
Yeah.
to see something new. And
Yeah. Well, and that's where for me, this hunt so far for me, like I've checked all my boxes. I've explored new areas I've never been. I've glassed, like I've taken my time and enjoyed morning and evening hunts, where I feel like in the past we've always just been rushing around, not going into spots prepared. Like I had so much fun Saturday and Sunday just glassing and seeing all the game.
Yeah, but you've actually been seeing game and you've been glassing, so that makes it somewhat
Right, it's fun.
that
for
makes
you.
glassing fun.
From my point of view, I've been glassing and haven't seen shit.
Yeah.
So
So fuck glassing.
I like glassing.
it's important.
So
Oh, I
tomorrow,
know.
It saves you a lot of steps.
So
Yeah, that's the
tomorrow morning, I have to be on that conference call at 6 a.m. So I'll be up there at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So I'll watch the sun. I'll see everything.
Okay.
So that'll be good for you because I'll be able to see stuff that you can't see. So even if you don't see something, don't shoot something, and we can't communicate because you have no service down there.
Right.
But I'll at least kind of know what is going on
Yeah, at least you can tell us after the fact.
because
I haven't been up there yet that early. I've been up there at like 6:45.
Okay, yeah, you need
Twice.
to be up there at like 6.
But it'll
Oh,
be
yeah, you're
dark.
gonna be up there
It'll
at
be
6.
dark yet. Like Rob and I were down here this morning. We left here at 5:30, 5:35. I mean, it was dark for 25, 30 minutes.
What time you think I should be up at Echoes at the Ash Crack of Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to be
Actually,
up
that
there.
would be helping you
Listen
too.
for any
Right.
Because I can
bugles.
kind of be
Yeah.
looking down there and seeing what I see in the morning.
Right. And if you're going to go to that sanctuary, you might want to just beat feet and be up there by 6. You need to be, I would say, up top there at 6. If you're going to be up there, you know what I mean? If
What
you're
are
going
What are
to
you laughing at, AJ? I'm bringing you along with me.
if you're going to put the effort in, I think
Yeah.
I think you should
I
be up
gotcha.
there right at first light.
Over there laying like Peter Michael Hayniski, eating your stroganoff. This chowder's pretty good.
So you think I should be looking this way at 6 o'clock, or you think I should be over that way looking at?
So I would love for you to be helping me out looking this way, but I can't help myself. You go.
It'd
you
be
go
nice
help
to-
the future hunts.
Yeah, it'd
go
be
look,
nice to know if there's
go
a
look
deer over
into
there.
meadow. Go look into the sanctuary or look into meadow and listen. And hopefully it's not windy, because that could be really productive.
Okay.
If you spent the first hour of light up there, or first, you know what I mean?
Like glassing over where I was on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That bench up there
Yep.
with that lake and those lakes.
Yeah, just get up there and do something good. Don't worry about looking back into here; it's useless. There's just
I can cover most of that.
Yeah, you can. Billy can cover the most of it, and there is so many. So I walked through all that.
Yeah.
The last 2 days,
I'm
and
gonna have
it's
to get up at like 4:30 in the morning.
That's what I was laughing
You fuckers.
at. Every time you asked a question, you knocked off a half-hour sleep.
that's good.
Kick
So
myself
would
right
you
in
He
the
slept a lot
me-
today.
Yeah,
I
you
did.
did. You lazy fuck.
He is ready to rip. I'm gonna get up. No, I ain't getting up that early. I was gonna say I'll give you a good smack in the ass, get you up that hill, but I'll be sleeping.
He can come by the tent and unzip it for you, and you can just give him a little
Yeah.
tushy.
Little backhand to the backside.
Smack the ass, the old donkey.
Yeah.
Get the old donkey.
We were talking to the guys up here above us last night. They said their buddy, the big bastard, he went out yesterday with like a bunch of supplies that they weren't going to need just to get stuff out of here. And they said he made it to the bottom. He walked 3.5 miles an hour. So it was like an hour and 25 minutes he made it out of here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and I think if I'm camped here and I need food, I'm walking out this way.
Yeah.
And I'm calling a
Uber.
Uber. The
Yeah.
problem is, you gotta have an app, right? Just call a fucking taxi. Either way, I'm not going up and over the pass.
Just go Google.
Yeah. Somebody give me a fucking ride.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
that's. I
hungry.
was thinking about that. If I ain't fucking climbing all these hills,
No.
I'm going right out the bottom of.
Call
And
somebody.
I'm gonna Uber. Or
I'm going to have to do a
golf
lot of
or-
editing on this
Hope you
podcast.
don't mind meat on your seat.
Yeah. Here's
No,
the hind
I'm
quarter.
gonna get it to the end
Yeah,
of the
and just
trail
leave it there. Yeah.
and then leave it there.
There
but
is
then
no way you're coming up over the pass
that.
to go back over that pass to get to your
do
truck.
that.
No.
No, two
Especially
passes.
that son of a bitch.
No.
That is a gnarly
Coming up.
MFer.
No, and still firmly.
That is a nasty.
Mhm.
That is a
That's steep.
nasty ass. hill.
Going down that is not fun.
I kind of forgot how bad that actually really was.
Yeah, so like I said, if I need to go out, I'm going out this way, and I'll figure it out myself.
Yeah.
And if I get to the car, I might just come back up that way.
Right.
You know, if I'm empty, it is what it is. But to do 7.5 miles instead of 5.3,
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I just cannot rationalize it.
No. And you are right. I mean, traversing the pass takes
It's
lot
a mile
out
and
of
a
you.
half to the pass.
Yeah, from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
And it
But
never
as soon as you
it's
get
just
over
never-
the pass, it's all downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But it's another 5.5 miles.
Right.
Downhill.
If you
And-
like long distance hikes, it's a nice hike.
Yeah. I'm not really a marathon runner.
I'll tell you what, yesterday, we didn't do a podcast yesterday, but going with Rob and going across that side hill where I think is where you had gotten the first time we were out here and you got into those bucks, that Sunday night,
Mhm.
and you missed, and then you had the whole scenario where you dropped your radio or whatever.
Well, I almost lost my gun.
Yeah. Like, I'm assuming I was in a similar area, probably a little bit higher than you were, maybe? Or did you? No, you went all the way up.
I went straight up the
You
whole
went
thing.
all the way up to the pass, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when you got into the deer. And
No,
you shot and missed.
No, I shot at the deer at the bottom.
And then you went up
Went up
to
to
go try to find him.
to try and find if I hit him
Gotcha.
or find him, and I couldn't even there was no
You know
way I
that?
could get to the point.
Yeah.
It
So
was-
we
it
started
was-
going across there and following these deer trails that he had followed the day before, and there was a couple of these spots where we had to go down, following the deer trail, and I mean there's nothing below you. It's
And those deer
avalanche
trails,
chute. Yeah.
if it's a deer trail, they're
and
this
it's
wide.
loose dirt.
Yeah, they're like 4 inches wide.
And I
Three,
was
4.
way more comfortable coming back than I was going because I had done it once, but I was freaking shitting my pants.
Yeah, my problem is I did it once and I never wanted to do it again.
Right.
When we shot those deer, it was hard to even get to them.
Yeah.
And they made it most of the way down the mountain.
What gets me is looking down.
Oh, yeah.
Is looking down and you see the meadow.
If you just focus up,
you're fine.
you can. I was going on all fours.
Mm-hmm.
And using my gun as
But the
a.
second you turn around and realize it's 1,100 feet down.
Yeah. And I got Robert telling me, quit being such a pussy and
Yeah.
just get up there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That was-
I don't think I can go any higher. And he's like, quit being a bitch or whatever he said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh boy.
That was pre new Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what he said, but it wasn't very nice.
That explains where you get it from.
Yep.
You're pretty direct. you
And
know.
I got up to the pass.
Direct and to the point.
Yep.
The last thing I had to hurdle over to get to the pass was a 5-foot straight rock cliff with pine trees on top of it.
Yeah.
And I could just reach the bottom branches of the pine trees. I shoved my gun up in there. I just launched it. I grabbed whatever I could grab and I just did a pull up and
Yeah.
blew through them. I lost my glasses. I could see the top. I ran to it. It was like 45 degrees up there at 6:30 at night.
Jesus.
And all I had was a dead radio, I found out, a quarter bottle of water,
You guys like
and a t-shirt.
That's like 4.5, 5 miles from camp too.
Yeah. And I was in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And that's all I had
And then it
because my
started
pack
raining.
was at the bottom. And it was like 45 degrees up there,
Yeah.
and I couldn't find the freaking trail to come down.
I think it was Danny and I sat at camp that night because you and Bob were up there on that big adventure, and Tard went back to the truck to get his rain gear, and then it started raining. And that was so Danny and I are just sitting there under the tarp. We're like, where is everybody?
It was
but-
a mess.
That wasn't a very fun night. Thanks for bringing that up.
I was thinking back to that same sort of discussion, like the first trip out here, that adventure Danny and I went on
Oh, yeah.
up off of where you dropped us off the side of the highway. It's like,
And that was a sweet spot.
I mean,
too.
we climbed up. It was a sweet. I'd love to hunt that again, but like we climbed up some shit that I look back at and I'm like, that would scare me now. Why it didn't scare me then, I don't know. It's like when you're new to something and you're too dumb to understand what you're doing.
What'd you say?
I'm dumb.
Oh.
That's what I said.
I didn't.
Oh.
Wasn't sure.
And not to mention, you guys had, 80-pound
Oh,
packs.
yeah.
You know.
You had, every little gadget. You had your big Minoc, single Minoc.
My
Yeah.
spot and scope.
So let's. You didn't have kids at the time.
No.
So do you think that, do you think that has anything to do with it?
I think it's probably softened me up having kids.
Because
Because you're thinking like, wow, I don't want to die and leave my kids alone.
Yeah, basically, on that first hunt on Gore.
My testosterone levels are probably lower now than they were before.
Well, that hunt you broke the news to us that you were
Yeah, so
having
the
little
Gore
one.
hunt, Maya was like a year and a half old,
Right.
and I climbed that pass, the day after I shot, I don't know, within a day of shooting that buck, I had to climb the pass because Molly was going to the doctor and found out, everything was good on the second one.
Right.
And things, I don't know,
Things changed for sure.
shit was scaring me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna climb this freaking mountain and slip down and die. I got a family at home.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's just
Yeah,
a
you
different outlook
motivated-
on life or.
You motivated me when you told me that, and I went home and we started breeding them. It was pretty immediate, actually.
Well, it must have been immediate.
It was like 8 weeks difference.
Yeah. Good job.
Yep.
Your testosterone was high. When you
It
got
was
home.
high. I came home. My mustache was ripping and roaring.
Oh yeah.
AJ, you're awfully quiet over there.
I know. What the hell, AJ?
The Colorado trip before that too. I just
You
found
gotta
out
give us your
that
thoughts
Molly
on.
was pregnant.
You gotta
Yeah.
give us the.
AJ, this is your
This
first-
is your first hurrah at it. What do you? Yeah.
How about you tell us about your big adventure yesterday?
How about you start with Thursday?
Yeah. How about we start with the plane
Let's start
trip?
from the. Let's start from the get go.
Let's start from Saturday. Let's start with Saturday.
Let's start from last Saturday when we met at Tard's too.
So just load the truck.
Oh, come on. Don't blame this shit on me.
No, I didn't start there. But did you hear the whole story about that too? Went home and passed out at home.
Well, I heard you guys aren't stopping over for vodka teas anymore.
I'm done with that one. Yeah, so Thursday, I think I got food poisoning right as we get on the plane.
You think you got it Thursday?
Well, you didn't feel good
Friday.
before that, but
Thursday?
Well, it couldn't have been Friday because we.
When did we get on the plane?
Thursday
got it
night.
Thursday.
But I talked to you at least the day before that.
And my stomach wasn't feeling
Yeah, you weren't really feeling that great.
But you were nervous.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
were scared.
But I was food poisoning, I think, on the plane. So I ended up in urgent care Friday.
Oh, no, I think we're skipping a lot.
Yeah,
You're going over a lot,
We're
man.
fast forwarding.
We need to talk about I-70 things. We need to talk about.
I want to, we were 3 people away from getting in the plane in AJ's. When we were 10 people away, he goes, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Yeah,
And we
I boarded first, and AJ was like, I was just there was a lot going on. Russ was there, so like, and then you were there. You'd been there for like 3 hours at the airport because you were there for Rachel and the kids to leave, and then like you just, we're all wearing masks, so you really can't like tell if what's going on. And then you were just very like uncomfortable, was my impression. And then it was like, oh, okay, he actually has a problem.
So you were like next to me or behind me, and we got like 3 people from the going on.
I don't think it was even 3. I think I was thinking about it. This is the last
I
step.
think you
I'm
were
stepping
about-
on the plane.
Yeah. And
he
he goes,
like, nope.
He goes,
And your butthole's like,
no,
It wasn't the butthole.
no. He goes, I'm out, and I'm like, I don't know what I should do. And I walked onto the plane, which I don't know if that was right or wrong. I felt pretty bad after because
No, that was the right thing to do. I
I couldn't.
Yeah, you see me. I'm like 4 rows in, and you see me, and you're like, what do we do? I'm like, we're on the plane. I'm
Yeah.
like,
So I made it to the bathroom, puked.
You made it to the bathroom that quick? I thought you would have hit one of the. I thought you hit like the
Trash
garbage
can,
can
right
or
outside?
something.
No,
I can't
'cause
believe
I
they let
figured if they saw me puke in a trash can, they weren't letting me on.
I can't believe they actually let you back on.
They didn't know. I said I had to take a piss.
Well, he
so,
didn't
so
get
I showed
on.
him. I showed him my ticket as before I went back
Yeah, but
through.
they got weird rules about
Yeah.
that reboarding and shit.
That's why
Like,
I asked before I went through.
I'm either gonna puke here or I'm
Well,
either
I
gonna
didn't
pee
tell him
here or I'm gonna pee there.
So she let me on quickly. She goes, "You got 2 minutes before we shut the door."
Yeah, that's crazy because you already scanned our tickets. I can't believe they let you out and back in. In hindsight, if you could have held your puke off for about 3 minutes, you could have run right to the bathroom in the plane and hit that for.
I didn't make it to the bathroom. It was in my mouth.
oh my God, dude. Oh my, that's a new development.
So, long story
that's
short,
a good skill to have.
that is a good skill. That's like keister.
it's like Easter, yeah. That's just as good. But I was pretty happy when I saw you walk on the plane because I'm sitting in the back with this drunk Oregon
Oh, this insane.
chatty Kathy, and I'm thinking, fuck, I'm gonna ride this whole plane. I don't know what AJ's gonna do, but he basically said, "See ya," and I'm gonna be stuck with her, which I got stuck with
did
her
anyway.
anyways. I took one for the team. Just remember that.
Yeah, I'll take one. I owe a lot of people favors.
Yeah, Tard's got
Yeah, I was pretty happy to see
a
you.
10-day private hunt scheduled.
I owe Tard some.
So that was
So-
that was
so
just
the rest
getting
of
on
the-
the plane.
Yeah, the rest of the airplane was me running back and forth to the bathroom.
Probably 4 times,
Yeah, at least.
in the 3-hour flight.
And then,
Luckily, we were in the back by the bathroom.
after at the airport waiting for the taxi.
You had to run in.
Yeah.
I forgot about
And then
that.
we get on the bus that is like, this guy is this bus is jam packed. And that should have been the telltale sign right there that we had a problem.
No speak of the English
No,
either.
no. He was saying all kinds
Waiting
of
a
stuff. He
half
was
hour.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we get to the car rental place, and it's 3 hours in line.
It's in
and
AJ's name.
Yeah, in AJ's name. Luckily, wearing masks, him and I look an awful lot alike. So
Many of us
if
could've gone up there with
right,
that.
if it came to it, we would have been fine.
Right.
But
AJ's way cuter, by the way.
Around and around and
Thank
around. We get the car. Finally, it's
At
what was that? It was
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We get the car, then we got a hour and a half ride to the hotel, and we're like, AJ lays down in the back seat, and I'm like, I think he's all right. I think he's gonna be okay.
Just sleep it off.
Yeah. And then we get like up into the mountains, and he's like, anytime, right? Like right now, gotta go. So
I might have
pull
to
off.
stop soon. Now is good.
We pull off, and I'm like, I don't think there's much of an embankment here, AJ. Like it's kind of like
Was this-
shoulder cliff.
Don't care.
It's a 70 mile an hour speed limit, right?
Yeah.
2-laner.
AJ's
Windy curves,
Oh
downhill.
yeah. Drop cliffs.
So I
You got a shit or puke? Both.
both now.
Now would be good.
No more questions.
Well, we got out by a big motorhome that was parked on the side.
I felt bad about that because there's no way they didn't hear anything going on.
We also pulled over by like a little Ford car too at one of those stops.
Oh, I didn't know that one. I don't remember that at all.
I kept laughing, and then we went to right before we went through the Continental Divide, whatever that tunnel
Eisenhower
is,
Tower or
Tunnel.
whatever it is, yeah.
AJ's like right now, and I'm like, well, we got to do it now because
this is not
So I start pulling over, and there's like the gravel's all like runoff from like its storms. So like the gravel's like got deep grooves in it, and Brian's like, "Don't fucking hit it."
I'm like, duh!
I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm not gonna fucking hit it."
We would have ripped.
We're all, and we've been up.
The Escape would have been in pieces. It was like a foot wide, 1.5 feet deep.
We've been
and
awake
it looked
for.
like he was just going for it.
We'd all been awake for 20 hours. I'm trying to navigate finding a spot for this kid to evacuate his system.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah.
When I gave you a piece of advice,
Yeah.
you gave me a little bit back.
I did. It felt good. Usually I just take it.
I'm like, all right, he's got it.
Any more left, bartenders?
So that lasted the rest of the night.
How much does Mr. T have?
I'll give you
It's my sleeping juice.
It's
Thank
not.
you.
It's not filtered. It's not UV'd. So
I've already had
just-
some filter.
Just making sure.
Whatever.
I know you're big on that.
I am big on that, but I have done this. You've never filtered up here. Let's talk. Okay, hold on.
Let's
Let's
finish
finish
our story.
AJ.
We gotta finish
Let's finish
AJ.
AJ.
It's all about AJ.
So
We're at
about
AJ
2:40
Maybe I had unfiltered water.
2:45, 2:50, we got into our hotel room.
Yeah.
And me and Billy slept, 2.5?
2.5 hours.
AJ shit and puke for 2.5 hours.
Pretty much, yeah. Maybe got 15 minutes.
I think that's about a recap. And
Yeah.
then
We got up. AJ stayed with you.
With
Yeah.
Brian,
You guys
yeah.
went to urgent care.
Took me to
Well,
urgent
yeah.
So you
Brian
and-
hung out with him for a while.
you and Rob-
hooked up.
you and Rob went to the mountains. I drove AJ around a little bit. We went to an urgent care. No big deal. They juiced them all up, right?
Got some fluids in me. Felt a hell of a lot better.
I beat the crap out of the Escape a little bit. Checked out some of the mountains. Just kind of paced back and forth a little bit.
Yeah. And then you got up in here. We hunted, yada yada, and
Yeah.
then
I did a
to come
5-hour
back
hike.
around to AJ, to round out his beginning to this mountain adventure around a fire. Tell us about your hike up in yesterday.
Yeah, I finally felt good enough yesterday to hike up. Only if Sean was willing to carry my pack halfway.
Do you feel that he has enough gear for the week, Mr. T, or no?
Probably a month.
I toned him back a little too.
So
It's hard. You don't know until you do it.
You
yourself.
don't know.
Yeah,
People
What's
can tell
important
you.
to you might
People
not be
can tell
important
you
to me.
till you're blue in the face.
Food's not important to me, but I'm hungry right now.
Do you want? I'm having a hard time finishing all my food today. You
I'm
want
out of
some?
vodka and I'm out of food.
Oh boy.
It's a bad.
Do you want some trail mix or do you want?
You figured out really quick what you really.
That's like a coffee.
I could drop a lot of shit now.
Well, you have to do it yourself. You had
just
some
have to
stuff that I
experience it.
couldn't tell you to take out because you thought it was important. It's like, if you think that's important, then take it. Because it could be important, but at times you're kind of taking a chance of what's important, what do you need or what do you want.
And you can't answer
I eat
those
this?
until.
Sure, you can have it. There's no coffee in there. I thought there was, but there isn't. Those are pretty good. That's my little dessert typically.
The best thing to do
Thanks,
You're welcome.
when you get home, take your pack apart.
Make a list.
Make a list of what
make
you
your
used.
own list now. You've seen all 3 of our lists. Now you make your list and say, this is what I need.
I think one of the things that, like, I definitely trimmed a lot of weight. I think the biggest thing, obviously, was taking my spotting scope out and my tripod. And with
Replace
you
those.
teaching me to use the trekking pole, Mr. T, and my binos,
Yeah, that's
I'm
pretty
glassing
near
up
tip of the
pretty near
week.
tip of the week. Use
Trekking
your
poles
trekking
is what?
pole,
That's
multi-purpose.
why I'm going to be on the pro staff soon.
Billy using the truck.
You keep stomping through those pieces of dead wood. I'll get you a hat in no time. What'd you say, AJ?
Using the trekking poles for.
Spotting scope, or for holding your binoculars still.
Yeah.
I mean, it works great.
Just hold your
and then
weight on the
I
ground,
like to put my
and you
fingers
take
on
your-
my hat.
You can adjust
too.
the height, and you just set your binoculars right on it.
And then I grab my hat with my index and my middle finger on each side, and you are locked in.
Yeah.
And it's like that's fine. But I also think I cut back dramatically on clothing. I think I have.
Yeah.
I'm been wearing the same pair of pants for 4 days straight.
I've
Whereas
slept in
I
mine.
was
What
always.
kind of pants are those, Billy?
These are 4 low
Oh, what's 4 low stand for?
for the love of hunting.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any more questions?
That's
What
all.
does KUYU stand for?
yeah. Yeah. What does KUYU
Killing
stand for?
and eating.
K.
Or curse, depends.
Yeah.
Depends who's doing the dirty.
That's right.
I got Sitka. I get sick a lot, so
Yeah.
Sitka.
Sitka.
Oh, AJ's wearing Sitka
Yeah,
too.
I'm all
Yeah.
sick of so.
I've got a nice combination of both, and I'm very. 4 Low's new. They don't have a ton of different options as far as items, so I've been running the quarter zip and the pants and the down jacket like every day, all day. But I've been, the Sitka core lightweight stuff is just, you cannot beat it. So I've been wearing that every day too.
Do you have an idea? I know you're not much of a wearer, but do you have an idea how much clothes you brought?
It can't be more than. I don't know. I bet you I got 9 pounds of clothes.
Because I used to bring 10. I have 6 now.
Yeah.
Because I just the down stuff.
Dude, going with
and these
down.
downpour pants are heavy. They're like 20 ounces.
Yeah.
They're way too heavy, but they're actually like
They keep you warm. They block
I
the
haven't.
wind.
I haven't.
It's a
wore-
multi-purpose.
It's a multi-purpose.
That's why I bring them.
Yeah, because they're tough. You can slide
They're
down the hill on
waterproof,
them.
but they're like an insulated pant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not, but they are.
I wanted to cut them out of my pack this year, but it's
Yeah,
like
me too.
I think that's a good
No,
tip for, especially
it's-
a hunt this time of year.
These are durable.
Having something that is not, you don't. I haven't put any other pants on other than this. I haven't put
Yeah.
anything over these, which is great. But if I needed to, I would just throw my rain pants on.
Yeah.
And my rain pants would just stop the wind and keep me warm.
I've got my down pants, the cheap ones that I got, and I
Yeah.
haven't put them on yet.
No, I haven't put my down pants on either.
And I think the only thing I would do if I was sitting is I might just lay them on me
Yeah.
because
Why not? Because you have them.
So back to AJ's actual experience hunting so far. Like, what do you think of the land and?
Well,
Is there anything-
how hard is it, AJ?
no. Let's go back to the hike.
I
Let's
mean,
go back to the
I
hike.
go eat dinner after I get here, 2 hours after I get here. Come back to the camp, and there's 2 mule deer in our camp. How
Yeah,
fucking
which
hard
is
is it?
double in how many we've seen.
I know.
Too bad I forgot to bring my muzzle loader with me.
Loaded
What
muzzle loader.
lessons?
Loaded.
What lessons have you learned, AJ?
All right, let's go back to the walk. So, what you started out about 9:15.
Yeah.
So, did you get some breakfast in you and
Yeah.
kind of take your time in the morning?
Got some more food to pack in my pack.
What'd you think about the trail? Because I hate that trail. With a passion.
I don't have anything to base it off of.
Well,
so it was-
what's your initial thoughts?
I did not mind it until the pass here.
Well, yeah, and that's so. The trail itself is actually pretty nice, but it's
That
just
trail,
long.
the actual trail, is way better than that trail.
I don't know. I beg to differ.
I don't.
I also
guess I
think
think
if I was in a
of
little
the-
better shape, it'd be different. I think I
So-
wouldn't mind it as much.
You said what was your trek? 7.3 something,
Yeah, it was like 7.3 or something.
and mine was 5.35.
5.5, just over 5 hours. To be honest.
Yeah, and I did it in 4 hours and 45, and that's only because Tard carried my pack for the last 3/4.
Well, he carried
But-
my pack for
The last mile and a half.
half of my pack.
So it would have taken me. it would have taken me at least 5.5 hours to get up here. You know, it's just a gnarly. You're just.
I'm sorry. That's right in your face.
Thermals are working.
Yeah.
But that trail, so the trail is actually nice. But
Just the elevation
just to get to
change.
that pass, to get up and over that pass is just
Yeah.
stupid.
Probably
I
no
just-
more wood on the fire. Probably let it cool down, right?
It's pretty warm still.
A lot of coals there, so. Good.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or you want
You
another
can put a
piece?
couple more on there.
So what I like about this trail is where it's steep, except for this last like half 3/4 mile just
Yeah.
blows. There's no way of getting around. It's like a pass, but you're not going over the pass. But the 2 miles of steep stuff before it, it's more like it's in rocks.
Yeah.
So it's switchbacking up the kind of rock formations.
Right.
And a lot of it has like just you're stepping on rocks. So it's not like a 35-degree angle on dirt. You're stepping up onto a rock, onto this rock. So it's more like stairs, I thought.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I actually liked it.
So is it the elevation change? Is it drastic? Is like going over the pass?
This last bit is, yeah. The
But
last
before that,
3/4 of
is
a
it-
mile.
It's not like the start of this one.
No, the first 2.3 miles was like you gained 400-foot elevation. But then after that you gained I got my tracker. So it's only from start to finish.
Did you track on base map?
Yeah.
Because that shows you.
So that shows total up.
Yeah.
So
forgot
it started at 89 and ended at 11.4. So that's only we're looking at 20. Well, you're looking at 2,500 feet, I guess. But it was well over 3,000 of what you actually, because there was
Right.
Ups and downs.
plenty of ups and downs. But still, I mean, it was that first 2.3 or whatever was like just I don't know. I liked it. So 5.35 miles, 4 hours 54 minutes. Elevation gain 39.34.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
So
I mean, that's
low 89.70, high 11.332. But so obviously there was an extra 1,000 feet. So Jesus Christ, the 4,000 feet. So 11.3. All right. So really, it was only like 2,400 total,
Right.
like from
right. Start to
top
finish,
to
but
finish.
you got a little up and down.
So, but 23 or 4 turned into 30, almost 4,000.
Yeah.
39.
I'd be
34.
interested to do that, to calculate that for maybe on the way out. I'll track it and see what it is.
But it's not going to tell you you're down. It's going to tell
It'll
you your
tell you
max. It'll tell you your max up.
Yeah.
Here's what it's telling you.
It should
Right.
tell you the elevation change.
It's going to tell you your
It
low and your
might
high.
change,
but
so
it only
if
tells
it's-
you your elevation gain.
Okay.
So low and high. When
But
you
maybe
add
if
that,
I
that's
but if I
2,400
don't but
feet.
maybe if you don't gain and you lose, would it tell you your elevation loss?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I'm not the owner of base maps.
I'll track. I'll report back.
Okay. 4,000 feet. I mean, that's stupid.
That is stupid. So what is your what do you think, AJ? Like, this is so new to you.
So I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Good.
I love it up here, but my initial thoughts, like when I was packing my pack and why I brought so much, is I thought, I mean, it is out in the middle of nowhere, and it is, but it's still feasible to go back to a truck if you forgot something, I think.
Yeah.
So
As long as it wasn't a life and death situation.
yeah, where I was packing everything thinking it's,
That's it.
yeah,
And that's what we all did on the first hunt too.
I just,
mean, that's
you
the
gotta
stuff
have that
you-
comfort level.
Yeah.
You
And
just
that's
have to do it and live and learn, man.
If you're thinking about it and we're telling you what's going to happen, you don't know until you do it. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's why I keep cutting. I try and cut stuff out that I didn't need, and I can't carry the weight you guys do. So I really need to.
You're kind
for
of
me, it's
you're kind of
important.
like a little twink.
Yeah, I'm just a dink.
I said twink, but
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think either
Brian's,
one.
full pack was less weight than AJ's half pack. If it puts that in perspective.
And
for
your pack
anybody.
looked full too, Brian. But it's because you had everything in bags. It was all organized.
Yeah, it was full. Well, I mean, I could have fit more, but yeah, it was filled out.
Brian, you did a good job.
Yeah, you did.
I'm probably gonna have to actually come over, and we're gonna have to have a black of tea and look at your situations.
Well, and the big thing is I only brought 5 days worth of food.
Okay, well, I had 6 meal like full days.
Yeah.
Like I'm stretching it out.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like I'm
that's the
not
thing.
eating everything.
So my 5 days turned into I'm pushing. I'm pushing it. But I usually don't eat a lot. And it's like, I don't know if it's just like mental. I don't have a lot of food, but I am hungry as hell.
Yeah.
If I have a lot of food, I don't eat shit.
But like you said before, this is the first time you guys have been up here this long
For
without
this
eating
long.
anything.
Right.
So you usually have another meal out of that at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rob hooked
And
us
a
up
trip
with some
down to
protein.
bring stuff up.
Right. More supplies.
Get some raindrops, boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't look very threatening, but you never know around here.
You did pretty impressive though, AJ, to get up here in 5 and because what did it take you guys, Billy?
7. I mean, we took our time. We shot some grouse. We stopped and had breakfast or lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, I took a half-hour lunch break. I was taking my time.
I felt great once I met up with Sean. He took half the pack. I kind of took off right away afterwards, and then it like died 10 minutes later.
Yeah, it's just the elevation.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Especially that stretch coming from where those trails meet, and then you come to go up over the pass.
It's just never
Holy
ending.
shit.
You can see it,
Yeah.
but you just keep walking and it doesn't get closer.
What killed me too is when I asked you how much longer we have, like a half hour.
He's like,
Ask me in a half
are we
hour."
going this way? And he like points to the closest hill. I'm like, no, we're going that way. To the farthest hill.
Oh, shit.
He just puts his head down.
Well, wait. Didn't you mess with him like you didn't?
Oh,
like
once
we
you
went
got
the
over.
wrong
Once
way.
we got over
that's-
that.
Yeah, after we got over the pass. Like
Yeah,
we had to-
I
like
stopped
we
and I
went over
fumbled
the
around.
pass
I
the wrong
said,
way.
Ah, shit. What'd you tell him?
I think we went the wrong way. I think he's gonna hit me with his truck and pole.
I mean, for somebody that doesn't know what anything looks like up here, that would piss me off so bad.
Yeah.
To get all the way up in here and have somebody like, oh, man, I think we took a wrong turn.
I think I would just sit down like a toddler.
Just start slamming your
I'm
hand,
not going anymore.
slam your head off
I'm
a rock
done.
because that's logical.
I started logically thinking though. I'm like, there was no pass we could have turned off. And then like, this is Sean. He's been up here a dozen times. There's no way they were in the wrong path.
Crazier things have happened.
I had to try.
It worked for a second. You got me going.
You did good though. You got up here. It was a shitty day of hunting. But
You
it was at least hunting.
Well,
Just think it. September at home. You can't hunt nothing.
No, I'm good with this.
we could
Yeah,
hunt
you can.
something.
The days are kind of screwed up here though, especially deer hunting. I mean, it's a long day.
Well, it's a long day when you're elk hunting and
Well,
the elk
yeah.
aren't talking.
Yeah.
I mean, like Sean and I were talking before you guys got here, and it's like, if the elk were, I've never experienced elk hunting like the rut. I've never experienced them going off. So all I know is what's going on here, which is basically watch them silent, and then they go into the timber, and then you're just like waiting for them to come out, you know.
What
But-
is the rut?
It's now.
Mid-September, end of September? or-
No, it's now.
But like I told Billy, like how vocal they were when you got your big deer. I mean,
Yeah.
that was awesome. Like
Oh yeah, they were going nuts.
they're going absolutely bonkers, and that was early. I mean, that was
Yeah, because that was
a
like,
week ago at this time, pretty much, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
still
no,
like
it was
the
Sep- it was
7th,
September
9th,
12th.
something like that. Yeah,
It was September
they had a good
12th.
12th.
But they were going nuts.
They were going nuts everywhere too. Two
And it
full
wasn't-
nights I laid
wasn't
awake
just-
listening to them bugle from camp.
It just wasn't one bull making a whole lot of noise. It was multiple bulls just going nuts.
The one night they were on both sides of the canyon. We're on the bottom of the canyon and they're on both sides, and I'm just laying there, without an out tag. Just they're screaming all night. It's like, wow. And then opening day, get up, screaming again. Huge bull with 20 cows.
Yeah.
Screaming. He almost killed like a 15-foot tall willow.
That was up above camp, right?
Yeah, it was right above camp.
That was a nice
most of the
that was a
bugling-
nice little spot to camp, other than the fact that it was straight up on both sides.
Yeah. And most of the bugling was on the other side.
Yeah.
But when I got up to look up the avalanche chute on campside, that's where that bull. They come over stupid, gnarly rock face.
Yeah.
And just started bugling like crazy. But that was awesome. We heard bugling in the other units we hunted.
That was pretty awesome.
So what are we thinking for the? I've only got tomorrow. Basically, I can glass tomorrow morning while I'm on my call. I got tomorrow night and Wednesday morning. So I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. And then you guys have got 4 or 5 days left. 4 days, really.
Yeah, we got
Are we gonna go Saturday morning? Hunt Saturday morning, then take off? Or?
Yeah. I'll break my knees walking out with half a deer in my pack. I'm not worried. Huh?
Sean will be back Saturday.
You can carry the other half.
Well, then I'll just carry
And
my
AJ,
pack.
you'll have to carry all of your gear out, which equals the same weight as half a deer.
If I'm out of food, I'll be at like just over 30 pounds. So I'll be good. And I'm out of food now. So,
So I'm good.
no, we just need to kill something. That fork horn that came through camp is getting really appetizing.
Because we jumped that deer right on the last bend of the trail before you start coming up the hill here.
Yeah. I'm interested to sit here in the morning. I just feel like I'm wasting my life. But
I would
maybe
say
I'm
sit
not.
here at night.
Yeah.
Sit
Right.
there in the morning, sit here at night.
Yeah, right. Good idea. Oh, you guys are so smart.
I'll tell you. We're not just pretty faces, me and Mr. T.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not a pretty face, or
Not just
You think maybe their bedding area is further down than we thought?
it could be.
Takes
Like
them
those
longer to get up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
those does were coming up right up that creek bed that I was sitting next to.
And so at what time?
That was like 6:30, 6:45. I was like 6:45.
The thing is, in the timber, I'll bet you they are moving.
Oh, they're moving.
Because they're feeding in. There's all, like even if it looks like solid
there's
timber,
little
there's those little pockets
fingers. Yeah.
of like just grasses or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, if you think about it, they don't actually need to come out here.
No, I don't
They
even know
can
why
stay.
they do.
They can stay in there and be just as happy and just as safe.
Well, I think that's kind of what's happened the last few days. I think they've said
Well,
screw
back
that.
to point A, I think they kind of messed everything up for their normal pattern.
Right.
TP hunters.
Yeah. And I've knocked 2 deer out of there in the dark.
Meaning that they're heading back pretty early.
Yeah.
The deer.
Well, one was at night, and one was last night, and one was this morning.
Yeah.
They were both at the last possible. Last night it was at the last possible time you could see, and this morning, you know, I caught the flash of horn coming over the hill, but there was no way I could have shot. You know. So yeah, it's at the last second of light. Seems like what they're moving, or dark, whichever way you look at it.
So that's it. It's been a fun hunt. It's been fun being in camp with everybody.
It ain't over yet.
Well,
You're
no,
signing
but
off
we're
like it's
doing this. This is like official. You guys have got a lot. We've got a lot of time left, really, when you think about it.
Yep.
Because we're living here with the animals, so anything can happen at any time. But
You're signing off like it's over, and we've been defeated, but we haven't.
we haven't been defeated.
Well, we are out of vodka.
So we are kind of defeated.
Temporarily.
Does anybody want some whiskey? I have Crown.
Save that for tomorrow.
Okay, for our victory.
Or
So
either, our win or loss.
A win or loss.
Win or
just
lose
to make
tomorrow.
the
we're
sorrows go
drinking
away.
Crown.
Yeah. Maybe it's
I'll
just
be with Andy drinking margaritas.
yeah.
Fish bowls.
Oh no! Oh, so good.
I know I can do one. The second one's a son of a bitch.
Man, when they ask you, you want muy bueno? Yeah, just give me the big one. You sure? Give me the big one. Are you sure? Yes. Can I be any more clear? And if you drink that, I didn't eat my dinner. I just was floating in my seat.
Margaritas will do that too.
I'm like,
yeah.
I think he was
Yeah,
right.
these
I
things are
shouldn't have had the fishbowl. It's like a 64-ounce margarita. It was like $29.99. Tart had 2 of them. And then we went across the road to the bar. What a mess.
You guys are something.
Are you sure? Just give it to me. Love margaritas.
Before I change my
two
mind.
of them last year.
Oh.
But I had to get a to-go cup. Nice little 20-ounce to-go cup. I couldn't do it anymore with all the food. And
Oh, man.
I finished my meal. I had almost 2 of the margaritas, which is
That's a feat. You're a real man, Ty. I'm just a boy.
The fire is way better tonight than it's been the last couple nights.
It's spectacular. The wind's being pretty
Yeah,
consistent.
consistent. Feels chillier than it has been the last couple nights.
It's cloud covered tonight too.
Me and AJ swear we saw frost up here on the hill. But
Last night felt cold.
felt colder, but man, we got down in and it was not cold.
No.
It felt like 45.
Well, this morning when it was raining, it sounded like it was kind of hard.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
maybe
I
it was
guess
frozen.
did. But I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Was that this morning?
Yeah,
No,
it was like
that was-
4
That was
o'clock.
yesterday.
no, that was the other morning.
That was yesterday.
No, it was raining this morning.
No, yesterday
Oh
morning.
yeah, it was yesterday.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I can't keep track of the days either.
No.
Rain this afternoon. already.
Right. Yep. I threw all my crap inside my tent.
We've been pretty lucky with the weather. I was anticipating it to be pretty wet.
It keeps trying to sprinkle, but
I was seeing
So
some
on
flashes.
average, is this a good span, like temperature-wise?
I
yeah,
think
sometimes it's hotter.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hotter during the day, but colder at night. It's way warmer.
Well,
at
I
night
think
than
if we didn't
it's
have the wind, it wouldn't be as warm during the day.
been, or it wouldn't be as cold during the day.
That's I'm right. Thanks for paying
So
attention.
generally, out of this is my 5th trip to Colorado, and so let's say out of like 25 nights, there's only been like 5 that didn't freeze.
Yeah.
But now we're at, I've already spent 3 nights that didn't freeze. Like
Right.
every morning, everything was crusty.
It's
Even at the other unit we went to at 8,000 feet, frozen, solid.
Hmm.
So I don't really get, it's.
Did you guys bring your gators?
Yeah, I haven't even taken them out of my pack
Didn't
yet.
bring 'em?
Nope.
How about mine?
Of course you did.
You need an extra pair?
No, I brought them. I've used them once so far.
So how many times have you got rain since Tuesday? Has it
That was
rained
the
at
first time it rained on my tent at all.
all? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Because usually it rains like
Yeah,
damn near every day, just a little bit.
just a pop-up shower.
Bam,
And
and
you just
then
gotta
gone.
throw your shit on quick and go.
Yeah. That was
But last year it wasn't like that either though. When I was here by myself, it was just them pop-up
It
rain
snowed.
showers didn't.
Yeah, then you had a fucking snowstorm. Right?
Yeah,
You
I
weren't
was-
here that many days before that snowstorm hit, were you?
here a few, and
that was a
then
week. I was here a
You were
week.
here a week before the snowstorm? You were hunting elk and then the deer started, right?
Yep.
hunting elk and scouting for deer. The scouting worked.
Yeah, I had
You
them
shot right
I-
where the teepee was. You
I
shot the
figured.
deer.
a little further up.
I know, but
It was in that meadow.
But I was talking to those other guys, the 36 hunters, and that guy that had his sheep tag.
Yeah.
He was going to take off that week, but then he heard about the storm, and he ended up postponing it, his vacation time.
Yeah.
A week after that.
So he got his goat the week after
Week after I was,
you were in here.
because we were up there talking. He's like, "Oh, I got my goat last year." I'm like, "Oh, so you're up here for the big snowstorm?" He's like, "No, I heard about it and I bailed."
Smart. That wouldn't have been good trying to get after the goats up there.
Dude, you wouldn't have been able to do it.
No, yeah, right.
You'd have been slipping and sliding. He would have probably
Where he shot that goat,
fucking died.
that's freaking crazy. Where he shot that goat.
Yeah, that ain't right. I would
No.
not walk there ever.
No, I would never, ever.
Let alone shoot. What do you do when you shoot a goat? You ain't gonna just sit on the top of the
Yeah, the goat's gonna go down into some shit probably.
into those rocks.
Yeah,
That ain't for me.
you gotta aim for the shoulder and just.
Dude, that's a different breed. Goat
Not-
and sheep hunters.
Yeah.
Not me. Not
I mean,
I
now.
was
that's-
asking today about it, if you would do it.
I don't know if I would do it. I
You
don't.
know, there's some spots you could shoot them, and you could go up by the lake over there. You know, there's some. There's some.
Yeah,
But it's what it
was
looks like
I was
here,
talking
though.
about going up on
Oh
top
Jesus,
to-
yeah.
No.
No,
Nope.
ain't happening.
Not me. Not now. Not ever.
That's a different critter, man.
Yeah.
I think you got to master the elk hunting and the mule deer hunting before you
We
before you think you can go.
We got
take it
30
on.
years of working
Before
on
you-
figuring out how to kill elk and mule deer consistently,
Yeah.
and then
But then you can play with the big boys.
how many years till we're going on our big trip? 15, 16?
What, Arizona?
Yeah, I gotta get my points. Oh, I don't know. I just plan on coming out here for a month every year.
When you retire?
Hopefully, I can still walk.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
18 years.
No, I think
3 months.
in my near future is an outfitted rifle elk hunt with a drop camp. I think that's on my radar for one of my next hunts. Maybe 2 years from now. I like this, but I have way more confidence with a rifle. And I feel like
Yeah.
it would be fun having a drop camp. That's something we haven't done yet. That'd be kind of cool.
I'd like to get a rifle in my hands.
See, I think the only benefit of a drop camp is that they do the work for you.
Right.
So, like, I feel like we do our own drop camp.
Yeah, that's what we're doing essentially, yeah.
You know, like, I don't feel that they put you on the animals. I think they just get you there.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
to the point of, like, I think we're doing it the right way. We're coming out early.
Yeah.
Right.
It's decent weather.
But I'm glad we're doing this now. We're young, we have the energy, we have
I wish
the-
we did it 10 years ago.
Me too. I wish I would have
Imagine
done it
that.
before I was married, before I had kids. But I never would have done this stuff unless I met Brian. None of my family had ever Nobody
I
had
never
ever
would
traveled
do it
outside of
unless
New
I
York.
met Brian.
Yeah, and Robert always did it with his buddies.
Yeah.
So
Who started it? Coming out here, Mike again?
no, but like so, Dad, Robert, Mike, Crispy, all those guys started coming out, and they had a group of friends. So like Dad's first trip had to be in like 1990, and he shot a nice 5-point bull. They went out rifle. Unit
Did they go to
25.
Colorado first or Idaho?
Colorado, Unit 25. They backpacked in, and so that was Dad's first trip, and like I always wanted to do it since the day he went. I was 5 the first time he went.
Right.
That's what I wanted to do.
Fucking spiders everywhere. I just looked at the ground. There's fucking spiders everywhere.
Well, they were in my boots the
That's
first
good.
morning. They were full.
Really?
Yeah, had to dump them all out.
Oh, that just made me a little uncomfortable. Spiders.
So yeah, Robert, Mike, Crispy, or Robert and Crispy probably the first trip. So, because I think Chris and his friends used to do it.
Yeah.
They used to go down south Alamosa or somewhere down there.
The Alamo.
So that's how it started. Then Dad got into it through them, and then
Yeah.
then they did Idaho a couple times, and so it's I don't know. It's
But
just
that's
how
the
it
fun
started.
part. I mean, that's the thing about this. Like, how the heck did we even get here? It's like the four of us hunting together. It's pretty freaking cool when you think about
Well, and Robert picked the spots every time.
it. Right.
We're gonna go here. Okay.
Okay.
He said 36.
Yep.
So we went to 36, and the only reason why we were probably here is because Billy
'Cause
I
you
jumped
came
over
were
that
over
pass.
the pass. Yeah.
he came over the pass, and the game was here, and
Yep.
it's treated us good ever since. Really.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah,
Right.
but like, just think about that. Like, the four of us in here together. It's like we didn't grow up together. We didn't,
Right.
you know, AJ and I are brother-in-laws. AJ's a brand new hunter. You don't have any background in any of this stuff.
Brian and I got some history together.
You guys have history.
Fifth grade.
Yeah.
That's sixth grade.
But it's cool to.
But yeah, I mean, we always talked about it, and you wanted to go, and it's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
And that was we had a freaking awesome trip the first time. Your first trip.
You just learn a lot. Every year you go, you learn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Well, and it seems like it's such an unattainable thing to do.
right.
And that's just like if anybody's listening to this, they just go grab some buddies and just go do it.
Just pick a spot. You
Shit's gonna
basically
happen.
pick a
Things
spot.
are gonna go
Oh, it's
differently
gonna
than
be
what you
foobarred.
anticipated.
Absolutely foobarred.
But that's just part of it,
That's why you have buddies to get you through it, though.
right?
Honestly.
And then for the next 2 years before we go again, we'll be telling these stories about AJ freaking shitting on the side of 70, and those are just their memories. It's good stuff.
I want to get back to the first place we went.
62.
I thought you
I
didn't
hate
like it.
I hate the cats. I hate the cows. There's a ton of bears, but man, there's elk, and there's a lot of deer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mention Andy our little plan of bounties.
Yeah, me and Tio have a
You got
little
a plan.
yeah.
Little getaway adventure together.
It may only suffice for 2 people, unfortunately. Our
Take
part
the-
of the plan:
Take the side by side.
fly out, run out there with just the truck,
Yeah.
and hopefully, God willing, Mr. Pyle there will loan us his Razor 900 and a trailer, and we can just go up in there and just jump that thing for days and days and days.
We're not gonna go anywhere. We're not even gonna buy
We
hunting
might not
tags.
even hunt. Hey, did you bring any clothes? No, the booze was in the way. All right, yeah, me too.
We're gonna have a little sabbatical in the woods.
Sabbatical. It's a religious experience.
But there is a lot of game up there. It is
But
just
what
so hard because there's a
we
ton
learned.
of people.
Okay, get to a high elevation,
Glass. Don't
and
waste
just
your.
don't waste your energy walking around aimlessly. Go to the highest point,
Glass.
glass.
How
and-
far did we go the first bugle we heard? Half mile, quarter mile off the road, and we were given a tip. We were given a lot of tips. We looked like such schmuck idiots
Yeah,
in
we
our
look like a bunch of
white
dopes.
undershirts, walking
Really?
around.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, and we just talked to everybody that we saw, right?
Right.
And everybody was super helpful. And I'm telling you, somebody pointed us to a meadow, and they're like, just go there. If you want to hear a bugle, go there at night. They're like, it's going to be on the other side of the canyon. You know, you can't get to it, but you'll hear some.
it.
You'll hear something.
But I
And
think
we're-
we spread out and you heard it and I didn't.
yeah, we were just like over a little knob. We're
And
about
like-
200 yards apart, and I'm going, Tyler, did you hear that? We're there, what?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. And there's camps everywhere, right? And we just walked a quarter mile off the road, sat in this meadow, and we're hoping that on the opposite face we
You'll
hear
hear a
something
bugle
just
and
to
see
go,
it.
all right, we heard it.
I think
Well-
those elk would be in a world of danger. In those 9 days we're there, it'd
Yeah.
be a different story.
Now.
If it was
There-
now,
Just because we have
a
a
little.
couple
yeah.
years experience now.
Yeah.
Now that we're gonna play the game a little different.
But yeah, we were given from some guys that hunt up there. You know, you'll hear something over there. Well, they were in the freaking drainage right next to me. And I'm,
Those guys were from Utah. Those guys are from Utah. Remember?
yeah. Oh, those are the guys, yeah.
They
With
pretty,
the Pioneer, they were out glassing.
yeah. They pretty much told us where to go if we just want to listen to a bugle.
Yeah. So we're
But then
like,
we had Randy. He pretty much took us on like guided hunt.
yeah,
for
he
a
held
day.
our hand and took us.
Come
And,
here, boys.
yeah, that was creepy when he pulled up on the 4-wheeler and he had that big old 44 on him, and we're like, hi. And he's like, what are you two doing? We're like, we don't know.
We're in our white t-shirts, showing our
What does it look like we're doing?
We're hunting elk, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no. He's like, where are you planning on going? We don't know.
We're on the rancher, just blowing. Two of us nut to butt on the rancher, and he's like,
Oh, you took the 4-wheeler out there.
what is going on? We're like, don't know. Just going to get an elk.
This is how we deer hunt.
We're locked, cocked, and ready to rock. This is how you do it. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, you guys, I don't have a tag up here.
He's like, you guys got tags though?
Yeah. Yep. He's like, do you want to? I'm going to check some cameras. He's like, I don't have a tag. Do you want me to show you around? Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm just looking at his gun and I'm like, I don't know if this is right. This guy's a little, he's being too nice. Like, what's he gonna do to us?
But he called for us for a while. He's like,
well, he goes, so we're down this gnarly trail, right, with the 4-wheeler.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, go down, around, up and over. He goes, so I got a trail, couple cameras set up on some water holes. He goes, I'm gonna go pull the cards. See what's there.
Laptop
if we get some good pulls, he says we'll go right to them and I'll do some calling for you.
And his laptop right there for us too.
Really?
Yeah.
Right on his 4-wheeler.
Wow.
So he goes, all right, I'm gonna go up ahead. You guys just down, kind of around, up and over, and once you roll through the big ponderosa pines and come down the hill, I'll be off to the right there. And we're like, we get on the 4-wheeler. So we're going down this fucking hill like this. It's
and
rocks.
that thing's 2-wheel drive.
Yep, both of us on it. We're like skidding down this hill. And at the bottom, it like turns sharp left, and there's a fucking washout, like 3 foot deep, like 2 foot wide. And we're like, and he went through it. He had a 4-wheel drive like Honda. And we're like, what the fuck? So we put it in. And
I got my one leg on the fucking cliff.
we got the one back tire is like 3 foot off the ground. And we're like, and the rack is stuffed into the other side. And we're like, all right. I don't know if we should keep going, This guy told us to follow, where are we going? So we get the thing, he's jumping on the one side. We get it through it, and we're like, I don't know, maybe we should just go home. So we find these, so we're talking. Dad, what's a ponderosa pine? He's like,
what's a ponderosa pine?
Oh, he's like,
I've been to Ponderosa to eat,
like,
but
I don't know. So we get up on top of this hill, and there's these huge, like, pines with whiter bark. It's like, think that's a ponderosa pine? Maybe. Go down the hill. We found his 4-wheeler parked off like behind some gate, and we're just waiting. And he comes back with, the card, and he's like, nothing on there. But want to take a walk up here? So he took us for a walk, and it was awesome.
He took out his laptop, and he showed us the shit that like he killed. He's a beast.
Really?
Yeah.
The muley that I got the year before. He said he was hunting it like all year long. Dude, it was probably a 3-footer, just points everywhere. It was just a monster.
Really?
He got it the last day of season.
Of rifle?
Yeah.
But he had like his
That's
arm
an all
operated
draw.
on
That's
or
an all
something?
draw unit, right? Or can you go over the counter archery?
No, you go over
You
the
go
counter
over
bow.
archery elk.
But for muzzleloader, it takes.
Yeah, and it used to take a point or two. Now it's like 4 or 5 for
Yeah.
deer and elk. But that guy took us around for like 4 hours, and then he goes, all right, I've done my thing. I'm going home. Good luck, guys. So we take the rest of that trail, which was a stupid trail, all the way around. We come back, we meet these guys on the Honda, and we're like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, what are you guys doing? I don't know, elk hunting. And
follow us.
We're just
going
hoping
up the
we hear
glass.
a bugle or something, and they're way up high glass, and yeah, go down there, guys. Just get out of our hair. And I mean, a half hour later, I'm like, tired. I think I heard a bugle. He's like, I didn't hear anything. I heard it again. He's like, quit fucking with me. Get over here. Get over there. We go over the fucking edge, and there's a 5-point with like half a dozen bulls pushing them around, bugling, going nuts.
Nice.
Like 500 yards just down the canyon. But it was too late. We couldn't do anything.
Yeah. That was the fork and knife, or the fork and matches hunt, right?
Yeah, that was the fork and knife. And we didn't hear any bugles when we had. Oh yeah, we did on the way back. But yeah, we wanted to get down to the bottom because Randy told us, right?
Randy
Bugling down there
yeah.
all day. It's cold. The big creek runs through there. The bugle all day. And we're like, Oh yeah, we're going down. We told some guys from, I forget where them guys are from. They're like, no, you don't go down there. You go down there.
But do you remember that one day I was just walking around by myself and I got to the edge? Like, it's pretty much
it's
straight down.
Like 1,000 feet.
And they were bugling down there. They're going nuts.
So we tell these other guys they're from a different state. And we tell them, we're going down there. And they're like, that's stupid. Do not go down there. We're like, well, we heard the bugle down there all day. Oh, yeah? You shoot one. Take a fork and a knife and some matches. When you're done eating the fucker, come back out, because that's the only way you're getting out of there. And we're like, all right, we got that. We're going to worry about it once we kill one. So we told the old guys we were going down there, and they were pretty worried about us. We were gone the whole day. They were looking for us. They were pretty worried.
Like your old guys?
Yeah, Chris,
Crispy.
Mike, and Dad, yeah. And so they came down in the canyon. We told them we went down to the big creek in. And they hunted that, and they beat us out. And on our way out, we just had a screamer just going nuts. Like, couldn't have been more than a couple 100 yards, right? Yeah. Just straight up the hill. So they hunted that, looking for us. No elk over there. And we come out, we kicked one up. That one was screaming. It was a pretty good trip.
Nuts. But, like, to our... we later found out he was sitting right on private.
Yeah.
And just going nuts.
The bull?
Yeah. He was right on a fence line. Because me and Dad had seen it a couple of years before.
He went across?
Yeah.
But...
There's a big ranch out there. So we saw or heard an elk every day that trip. And that's at least...
Yeah.
And that's being a bunch of schmucks.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, that's not even, like, knowing what we're doing.
No, we just kind of went... We got on the rancher in the morning and went somewhere,
And that was pre cell phones with maps and everything, right?
Yep.
I mean, you didn't
How
have...
about the radios? Did you guys had
You had
radios
rhinos then?
Yeah, we had the rhinos. Yep.
So you had topo maps, so you kind of knew.
Yeah, a little bit. But basically, you drove around.
Awful.
The Jeep trail was on the top
like
of the ridge.
wherever we hunted, we had to... Brian would drive, and I would be the kicker of the muleys because they would try to run into us.
Little 2x2s. Muleys or Angus. Man, we almost didn't make it back to camp a couple times. Those freaking Angus were pissed off. They would just stand in the road.
I hate those. I hate them.
I hate cows with a passion, but I would definitely go back to 62.
Yeah, and there is mountain lions on top of mountain lions, and bears breeding with mountain lions. It is a mess.
We would have to try to get a bear tag too.
It's only you have to try, because they change it now. Any unit with a star next to it, it's an add-on for $101. You just buy it.
Like, I was kind of regretting I didn't buy one. Granted, we haven't seen a single bear yet.
Yeah, up here I wouldn't be as worried about it. In 62, I would have a bear tag because everybody has seen a bear every trip.
Yeah.
And tons of multiples.
Yeah.
And it used to be a $330 tag, but they changed it. It was first come, first serve, kind of.
Well, I forget, was it either Crispy or Dad? Seen that, like, what? That'd be
Dad's
like a 700-pounder?
Yeah. Well, Crispy seen the 700-pounder. Dad's seen like a 500-pounder. 2 days in a row in the same spot. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't even get Mikey to go down there and shoot it. Mikey wanted him to shoot it. Dad's like, no, I'm telling you where this big, fat, lazy bear is. Just go down and shoot it. You shoot it. I'll tag it.
Oh, yeah, that's all Mikey he was hunting, really. Right?
Yeah.
Or do you have
No, because he
went late, right? He wanted to go late.
I think he had a little driving accident. So he didn't get his... he didn't buy all his tags, and then he ended up getting the bear tag was cheaper, and he missed all the other stuff, so he ended up getting that. But yeah, it's a fun unit. Just...
Yeah, it's an extra 6 hours drive.
Yeah, it sucks. It's like 30 hours.
Yeah.
Well, that's to get to it.
But
then you drive a few hours up in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a long freaking...
It's a ways, but
it's a cool place. I'm telling you, there was elk everywhere we went. They didn't always want to talk a lot, or...
No, I mean, we've seen them from camp. We all were huddled around, and
three monsters,
fucking 380 class bulls. I mean, you could see.
Two
You could
of them,
see the.
you know, they were just touching
Just,
their back.
Yeah,
and
they're just
like-
danglers, just monsters.
I think one of them was just like a normal bull, but the other two were
They're
just like
freaking pigs.
So-
just walking on the edge,
So
like
20
teasing us.
I feel like this area has changed a lot in 5 years. We can look at this and say we were here in 2017. We know what it was.
I think one thing is the moisture was lighter on this side this year.
I just think there's less game. Thinking about the number of animals, how many elk we were hearing and seeing. That one day I came over here and found this area, it was a freaking circus.
Yeah.
There was 12 bucks hanging together.
Yeah, but it could go year to year, man.
It
You
could
come
go.
here next year and it could be loaded right up, and then what are you going to say to that hypothesis?
And I'll say we can correct that hypothesis. I don't know. It just seems to me like a lot of, and I guess maybe it's just this season and the weather and whatever's going on, but like it doesn't sound like many people are having like really intense good hunts in Colorado right now.
I feel like there was 100 deer in here 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't feel that
I
way.
think
right
there's a couple dozen.
Yeah.
Or a dozen, you know. But I mean, we did. There's.
now. But it was bound to. I mean, we were bound to have it not be
Oh yeah.
a walk in the park. You know.
We more figured that the possibility of not a lot of elk being here was better than not a lot of
Right.
deer.
We figured the deer were going to be here for sure.
Yeah, and I think there's some here.
I haven't really seen many. Over on the other side, I saw some rubs, some fairly fresh rubs.
I saw. One.
I haven't seen many rubs in here.
I saw one from last year, and I saw one from this year on a tree like that.
Elk
One of those
rub.
clumps.
Yeah. But I saw there was
No,
some buck rubs
deer.
over. Really?
Yeah, it was a deer. Yep.
On a tree that big.
So that
I'm
must
telling
be
you,
a
I think that
clean-horn
buck that I saw Saturday morning, that you may have run into this morning, because based on where you're saying you ran into him, I'm thinking it could be the same deer. That looked like a big buck. That was a better part of a mile distance. I glassed him up and I could see his rack.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good buck.
All right, I'm gonna shoot him.
I think you should shoot him.
Because if not, I'm gonna shoot the 2x2 that comes through camp.
Tripped over Rob's guide wire.
I would hate to have to do it, but I will do it.
Yeah. Just for the safety of all of us.
Yeah. We don't want to get trampled by a little forkhorn.
No.
Plus, we're hungry.
It's got to happen tomorrow.
Okay.
I want some backstrap.
All right.
Well, I'm going to turn the podcast recorder off. We don't have to go to bed. But appreciate you guys giving some entertaining storytelling.
You can delete it all.
I won't delete it. That's gold.
I mean,
We
we
could-
had so much fun.
Honda Rancher
62.
two-wheel drive and a 3-foot ditch.
Oh, don't forget about the mud buildup.
Oh, it was hitting.
Like,
So there's
oh,
this
don't
much
forget about our
room.
snuggle time.
I didn't want
next
to
to
put
the
that on.
That's what people tune in for. Is the
Oh.
homoerotic high mountain stuff.
So that's what you end the story
So you
with.
didn't
We're
shut
gonna-
it off.
That's,
No,
what that's what I end the story with, Brian,
All right.
right there. To
So-
keep them coming back.
So, so what did the guys call it? Red
Red
clay
mud.
or red
Yeah,
mud?
red
All right.
mud.
So we had them big gnarly tires on the Rancher, right?
Yeah.
So there's probably 8 inches of room between the fender and the tire.
Yeah.
The tires were no more. The mud was rubbing off on the fenders.
Really?
It's
Because
so
it builds up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that.
And
And
did the
when it
same
rains, it
any
gets
bit
like,
of moisture, it can be dry as a popcorn fart. You can kick it like this, like dust. But as soon as that shit
it
gets
sprinkles.
mud, that sticks to your boots, and then you can't fucking kick it off.
So Crispy Miller had Dad's truck the one day. He went 2 miles down the road, and about a quarter mile in, he got sucked into the rut, and he went with the wheel cranked to the one way the entire way and couldn't get out, and he had to back the entire way back up. And the same thing, the mud was rubbing off on the fenders on that truck. So in first gear with the Rancher with the 48-inch tires and me and tired on it,
Yeah.
it would just bog in first gear when you tried to take off.
Oh my God.
It wouldn't even move. So anyways, one of the mornings we're cruising down the old Jeep trail. We got a place in mind we want to go. And we both look up and we're like, holy fuck, what is that? Like, it was like looking at that mountain compared to the sky. And we're driving towards it,
Is it a storm?
Yeah. And you could see, like, above us, you could see the stars, and then there, it was like looking into your, just put your hand in front of your face.
Yeah.
And that's the way we're driving. We're like, oh, man, that doesn't look good. So we get to where we want to get. And in a fucking quarter second, we made the decision. It just started fucking coming down. And it's pitch black. It's like it is now. So we ripped this tarp, right? We had a tarp.
Yeah, we had a tarp on the back of the wheel.
And it was like the wind had been today.
Yeah.
In the last couple of days.
It was like a tornado was coming.
It was not good. So we don't know what to do.
Just roll.
So
roll yourself up in the tarp.
we ripped the tarp out, roll the front wheels of the four-wheeler over the one side of the tarp. We both lay down, pull the tarp over us, and we cuddled with our guns and our packs.
Oh, I never heard this
for
story.
like a half hour. It had to have rained 2 inches in about a half hour, maybe more. It was just absolutely coming down. So we're laying face down on the ground with all of our shit, And,
oh my God.
In a 6 foot tarp, so we're shoulder to shoulder. And
we
it's
are
just fucking...
hardcore. Hardcore. So
that's how you explain it, huh?
Yep. There's no better word. So the rain lightens up. We peek out the tarp. It's starting to get light out. Looks good. So we shake the tarp off of us. Whew. I'm never telling anybody that. We put the tarp back on the four-wheeler. We look up, and there's a camper, like...
Oh, they watch you guys do it.
I don't know. Don't know if they were there. We're like...
We don't even know if they're watching us or not, but there was a camper right there.
But it was so dark when we pulled in, nobody knew. We didn't know. We did what we had to do to survive.
You did what you had to do.
And
That was
I mean,
smart.
it was a nasty storm. We were doing all we could do just to hold the tarp down.
I can remember the first time it's like looking back at the first trips you take, like when Danny and I were coming up in alone when you dropped us off the side of the highway. We weren't a half a mile off the road, and this freaking, a storm comes, one of those midday storms, and we like break everything down. We get our little our tarp out, put our tarp up, then it rains for like a minute and a half, and we're like, all right, we packed everything up. We did that like 3 times in that day and a half. But it's like you think like you have to tarp up, and it's like look
but you
like
never
today.
know. You don't know.
You don't know.
Because when you don't
it
tarp
could roll
up,
over the mountain and be a rough one.
This one rolled over, and it was bad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so we had a good plan, right? We were going to come down this drainage into a big canyon, and, we missed.
We've seen a bull that morning. We've seen all the muleys.
Yeah, so we didn't have muley tags. We run into a group of like 4 muleys coming down the drainage to the big canyon, and they're just standing there at 110 yards, like just looking at us. We're leaning on the tree, just pulling the trigger, And so those kind of slow us down too, because we didn't want to spook them. So once we get past them, we get down there, and this bull is just going up the. It was a single, huge track. I don't think we really put much horn on it, but.
He was definitely a bull, though.
If we didn't miss the, if that storm didn't hit, we were going to be at the bottom at like shooting light but we were like an hour late.
We had to have our cuddle time.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't just get. I guess we could have went back and.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could have changed. Did we have anything else? But it was like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, it must have been above freezing because it rained, but most nights it froze there, right?
Yeah.
The four-wheelers just froze solid every morning.
With that red clay on it.
Yeah. It was messed up.
You got any other great stories you want to share?
No, Billy. To be continued. We're gonna end it with that.
We'll pick up tomorrow with a kill story. How about that? Sound good, Mr. T? Don't drink too much.
I'm in your
tomorrow
world.
night, okay?
I just live in it.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
Just remember to
I shouldn't worry about him.
bring all their booze up and some more.
I think all theirs would be sufficient.
All right, checking out.
Peace.
Peace.